you can feel at home in Punta Cana.
I'm in love of living in Punta Cana.
Wow.
I wouldn't go anywhere. Good stories start with a girl, with a lady.
That sounds like a challenge.
That was one of the main reasons that made me stay. My identity has changed even a little bit from Mexican to Dominican. It takes you from heaven to hell. You cannot buy peace of mind.
On today's episode, we have Eduardo Díaz from Mexico, and he is a sales consultant and professional. And not only that, but we will get into his story in a moment. Hi, welcome to the show.
Thank you,
Eduardo.
Sherry. Thanks for inviting me. You have a really cool setup here. I'm really happy to be here with you, finally meeting you.
Yes.
I've seen your pictures all over Punta Cana since I moved here.
I know. They have a nickname for me out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's that nickname?
The Billboard Lady.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. So we've been talking, and you have a very interesting story.
Thank you so much.
Yes. We here on the show, we talk with expats because our audience is generally expats, people who may be thinking about moving to Punta Cana. So you moved here to Punta Cana about 13 years ago.
13 years ago, correct. Yes.
So how did you decide Punta Cana, and what brought you to Punta Cana?
Well, I was working in this company in Mexico, which is a really famous hotel chain. And these guys were opening a hotel in Punta Cana, and they told me, hey, you want to go to Punta Cana? It's going to be a 9-month thing. We're going to pay your tickets, your hotel, your everything. I was like 27, 28, so I said, of course. So I came for 9 months, and those 9 months turned out to be 13 years so far.
Yeah,
I never went back.
That seems to be a very common
Yes.
story.
Yeah, right.
People come here for whatever reason,
Yes.
and they never leave.
Never, no. Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Yes.
You just look at your view you have right here. It's a shame you cannot see it, but it's so beautiful.
It's the ocean.
Yeah, it's the ocean.
What we love about Punta. One of the things that we love about Punta Cana.
Yeah.
So you came here working, and after that, you decided to stay when your assignment was over.
Well, like most of the times, the good stories start with a girl, with a lady.
I was going to kind of go there, but you know where I'm going. Let's tell the story about that.
I met who is right now my wife. I would say my wife, we're not married, but we're more than married. So I met her at work, and we've been together for, I think, 11 years, something like that. So I think that was one of the main reasons that made me stay. Plus, all the pluses that we're going to talk about this beautiful place that made me say, I even want to be a Dominican, you know. I'm working on my papers to not have just the residence, to have the Dominican nationality. I love, so it's more already like my identity has changed even a little bit from Mexican to Dominican. That's something really curious, because when I'm on vacation, they ask me, hey, where are you from? I already say I'm from Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
You know, it's like comes automatically.
Yeah,
you know?
that is very, very interesting, because I feel the same way.
Really?
I've been here 18 years.
Wow, yeah, it's true.
So I'm American, but sometimes I say, I'm Dominican. I'm culturally, because I've lived here so long, I love the culture. I plan to stay here, which you're planning to stay here.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I'm sold with living here, with the peace of mind, the atmosphere, the people. Dominicans are really cool. To have I live in Punta Cana village, which is an area which I would recommend to somebody that has a family. You know, you have kids, it's like Punta Cana village. I love that place. I have peace of mind when my kids are out playing in the park. It's and you cannot buy peace of mind. You know, it's something really. It's a very heavy treasure to have in life.
Yes, it's priceless.
It's priceless, totally. Yeah.
Yes, and outside of peace of mind, being in Punta Cana, we're near the beach with the nice people, like you said, and this is exactly one of the reasons I love being here and staying here. I have children too, similar ages as your children. Your children are, how old are your children?
8 and 14.
Right, a son and a daughter.
Son and a daughter, yeah, correct.
And you feel comfortable with them going out and going around? And
yes. I mean, I have that good feeling of the place where we are right now. It's a good place to grow. In all the ways, spiritually, financially, there are opportunities in Punta Cana. You know that it's still like I won't say that it's still very virgin, but I would say that there's still a lot of opportunities if you look around.
Yes, and you have, speaking of opportunities, you have launched several businesses. Actually, you and your wife have launched a school. You have a sales business.
Yes. Well, the school, it was all about my wife. She was her idea on the pandemic. When the pandemic hit us, we were in my house. She started thinking or having these ideas that we needed to have more opportunities in Punta Cana for schools. There were just like 2 or 3 schools, in the school area. Where is somebody, or when somebody is going to open something good? And she started thinking, why, instead of waiting, why shouldn't I do it? So that's how it started. And the idea was to have a school with a Finnish from Finland system, because they are supposed to be top tier in education in the world. So she started looking, and there were these companies in Finland that sell the know-how. They sell a franchise. So you pay them every year, and they sell you all the know-how, the books, this, that, so you have already this personality.
The blueprint, basically,
exactly.
the playbook.
And the one we have, it was a Finnish-American system, so it's a mix of both. So it was a really good hit. It started the first year with 30 kids. That was in 2021, after 1 year after the pandemic. And right now we are reaching 150 kids.
Wow.
Yes.
150 children getting education from your wife and
yes,
her.
she invited in that journey to 2 of her friends that they also work in the place that we all work together, and the 3 of them are running the school. I am not involved with the school. I was involved at the beginning with the planning and financial part, but the mastermind of that school is my wife, and she has been doing such a great job. It's, when you find your passion, when you find the reason why you wake up, that's her thing, and that's her baby. Yeah.
Wow. So we'll have to invite her to be on the Punta Cana podcast.
She doesn't even want to talk in my own podcast. So if you can close her, I will give you a prize.
That sounds like a challenge. We will see how that goes. That is super interesting. And so the children, and what grades?
Right now we're going to open 4th grade. So it's open in 1 year, every year, So the school is growing organically, you would say.
So every year you pick up the next grade.
Next grade. Yeah, we are right now in one building in Punta Cana village. But right now we're also looking for land, so because we want to like soon, to buy land and start growing a campus, because we need it. There's no more space in the building that we have. We're starting with 3 places, then the next one, then the second floor. Right now we broke the floor or the ceiling to make a stairs. So we have a second floor in the building.
Wow.
So that we're gonna keep it as a kindergarten, because it's very convenient for families in village that they take their babies, and then we're gonna open the school somewhere. We have a couple of options right there.
And let me just say that this is something I really love about actually the podcast and the people I've met on the podcast, and even people I know who I'm talking to about the origins of their business, that businesses start very organically and they grow. They grow and they blossom into beautiful businesses and opportunities. So if you are out there and you are thinking to start a business, you need to listen to people like Eduardo and various other of the podcasts with people telling their stories, how they came with a dream, they came with an idea, they just started in their kitchen or started with one little commercial space, and now they're buying land and building campuses and growing big businesses. And this is what it's all about.
Yes, of course. I think the key is not to focus on the money, The thing of my wife was that she truly wanted to deliver something good for my daughter. That was honestly like the big reason. Because my son was older by the time. He's 14 now, so he was like, 10 years old. So we knew that the ship has sailed already for him, because we needed to do something for kindergarten, 1st grade, something that she could take advantage of that. So that was a big reason. So that was her, her why, to deliver something good for her. Everything else came as a consequence. That
is really beautiful, and that I think is a part of the roots and the foundation of Punta Cana. For me, there was hardly anything here
Yeah,
when
I
I got here. That
remember.
was nothing.
Yes.
And I have been here to watch Punta Cana grow from nothing more than an airplane on the map. Like literally there wasn't even a town. There was just Punta Cana Airport with the little airplane on the map.
Yeah.
And now, look.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
a booming, thriving city.
Construction all over the places. Yeah, prices of the real estate, how they have changed.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely growing. So
Yeah.
don't wait.
Don't wait, exactly.
Don't
Yeah,
wait.
yeah. I'm right now, one of the business that I'm doing is based on the experience that I have. I'm right now giving consultation to sales companies, and most of the companies that I have hired me are in the real estate business. And I've been involved with real estate recently, because before it wasn't my world. Right now it's getting there, you know. And I've seen those changes, and I've seen how the prices have increased and how people have to take advantage of that right now. Because sometimes people feel about, oh, the price of that property was so cheap last year. Yeah, imagine in 3 years.
Exactly.
So do it now, man, because yeah.
Yeah, andale. You know, it's like you're gonna miss out.
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
gonna miss out.
I have a cousin who actually visited me 13 years ago, he says, and he's recently come back earlier this year, and he says, man, I really should have bought, you know, back when I was here before, and why didn't I buy? And I should have bought. And you know what I told him? I was just like what you said. Look, then you need to go ahead and make that decision now.
Yeah.
Because if you wait, it's good. You're going to continue to.
It's gonna be the same. In another 13 years, it's gonna be exactly the
crying
same.
even worse.
Yeah,
You're going to be crying even more.
Yeah.
And you know what he did?
He did. He bought.
Of course. And you know what he's doing now? He has his friend who bought. He's talking to his siblings and telling them to buy and letting everybody know, because he has seen with his own eyes how the area is really growing and how there are opportunities. And Punta Cana is not going away. Actually, Punta Cana will continue to grow and be on the
it's crazy. The number of people that is coming as tourists through the airport, those numbers are crazy. Huh?
We're breaking records all the time. Every month, a new record.
Every month, every year, more and more and more. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So your sales business, talk to me a little bit about how that has evolved.
You have dreamed of the perfect Caribbean beach lifestyle. With Boardwalk Developments, we have the blueprint for you in this tropical paradise. Celebrate incredible returns when you elevate your investment portfolio with the hottest real estate in Punta Cana. Invest wisely, live lavishly. We'll show you how. Contact Boardwalk Developments, Punta Cana.
Okay, so the consulting business came to me like also very organically. I didn't planning to do it. Before I was working as a sales director in one vacation club called Legendary. It's one of the biggest in all the Caribbean. I had when I was working there like more than 120 salespeople and almost 60 people in marketing. So that was that is my passion, you know, to work with people. To inspire, to help them to reach their goals. That's something that makes me feel really, really good. But for personal reasons, I decided to quit because I needed to reshape some parts of my life. And the only way I could do it is by quitting and going to do some spiritual journey outside of Dominican Republic. When I came back, a friend called me and said, hey, you know what, we need some help in this agency. I talked to you about you to the owner. What do you think? You want to come and help us out? I said, yeah, sure. So I went, and I discovered that there is this opportunity in Punta Cana, because I have noticed that every company, that every time they want to hire a consultant, they have to ship the consultant from elsewhere, either from the States or Mexico or Colombia. They brought the person here. They make a great training, 1 or 2 days, and you know how salespeople are. They get very excited for one day, and later, 1 week later, they already forgot all that information. So it's not for a long term, most of those trainings. They are good, but I think you have to do it like consistently. So that's the idea that I'm doing right now. I've been hired by a company, and I don't go and give them one training of one day. First, I make a research of what do they need, and then I do something personalized for them that lasts at least 1 month. So I go once a week, and I give a training to them. They have been companies that I have worked with them for 3 months. So it's like I've become part of that business, and I think and I've seen that their results are much better. People thinking much better. They have questions from the training before. I can give a follow-up in the next one. There are short trainings, like 2 hours, and that's it. Because I also have seen that when you get people into a 7-hour training, they just start thinking about whatever, check the phone, they do not focus. So that's what I've been doing right now.
Okay, so we're going to be doing some business because I think you have another client.
Cool.
Yes, because I have a sales company.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah.
So yeah, we can talk about some business. That sounds really good. So tell me more about this spiritual journey that you went on. It sounds very interesting. So one day you just said, "I'm out of here.
Basically.
I'm going to go and."
Basically,
fill in the blanks.
Yeah, look, sales, when you are good at sales, you need to have your system of values really, really solid. And I think you know that, because sometimes if you don't know or you don't remember why you are doing what you are doing, you start doing things that are not good. So sometimes you make a really good paycheck, and you make, I don't know, $30,000-$40,000 in 1 month or whatever, or more. You start, if you don't have your values and your spirituality well settled, whatever your spirituality is, I don't want to get in there. You could be in a religion, you could be just a spiritual balanced person, but I wasn't any. I never in my life I practiced any spirituality. I was, at the beginning of my life, I used to say that I was an atheist. I'm atheist. I don't believe in anything. Later on with sales, I started believing in energy, but nothing really like tangible. And then I was taking my life to a place that I didn't like it. I was prioritizing work, time over my family, my kids. I started putting more value to things that are worthless, and I saw that my life was going to a place that it wasn't a good place. It was a dark place. So the epiphany that I have is the way I could save my life, save my family, is by quitting. That's the thing. So it was a really difficult decision, and yeah, like you say, it was from overnight. I quit it like that, and the day that I quit it, I said I need to get out from here, because here I know a lot of people. I just needed like a break of everything, even from my own house, from my coworkers, everything. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to India. I always wanted to go to India. I never been there. I know it sounds cliche, but I know that there, I don't know if I'm going to find the answers that I'm looking for, but at least I know that it's like the spiritual Mecca of the world, So I called this friend that I have that is from India. He lives here. He connected me with some people in India, and they gave me like a map, like, okay, if that's what you want to do, you should go here, and there. So I went for almost 3 months there, and I have
3 months in India.
Yeah.
Just like buy a plane ticket. I'm
with
out here.
no ticket back, just one way. My wife was super cool. I mean, she was like supporting me all the time. She said, I know you need it, just go, because you really need to find yourself over there. And it's not that I came back different. It's not that right now I levitate, meditating. No, I just cleaned some parts of my life, I
like a reset.
Yeah, like a reset, correct. Yeah. And then I went almost for a month to the Amazons, to the jungle.
Really?
In Peru.
Wow.
Yeah. That was really interesting. That was maybe the toughest experience in my life. 40, I don't know, Fahrenheit, but Celsius, it was like 43 Celsius, really hot, really humid, and it was with this shaman. I spent 3 weeks with a shaman doing the ayahuasca ceremonies. It was something very, very, very intense. It's like that's the real resetting in life, It's like you die. You literally die a couple of times. It takes you from heaven to hell, and it's. I can't even explain it with words. It's something that if you need help and you wanna change things from you, and you have found some difficult, it's something you could try. I mean, I'm not recommending it. each one decides, do some research, but it was something very intense. I'm really happy that I did it. And most likely I'm going this year back to Peru. I'm taking my father. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Father, son,
Yeah, father,
ayahuasca, shaman,
Yeah,
jungle,
yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Let's hopefully he says yes. He already says yes, but he's like thinking about it. Yeah,
You think he's doing research? Like, wait a
he's
minute.
doing his research. The thing is that he's diabetic,
Okay.
and so he's a little bit scared about that. So I tell him, okay, if you really want to go, prepare yourself, do some training, do some diet, go as healthy as you can. So he said, okay, I'm gonna try. So yeah, we're on standby over
And
there.
how long will you be there?
This time for a week.
A week.
Just 1 week. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It was a cool experience. So I came back. I did some other trips with my family, and then is when all this consulting business started. Yeah.
And how's it going so far?
It's going so far really good because I'm not putting a lot of heat into that because right now I'm enjoying that. I'm with that work. I'm working like twice a week. I'm doing good money, but I am enjoying the other part of my life which I didn't before, which is finally I could go to the gym for 3 hours. Little things. I can go to the gym for 3 hours. I can go and pick my daughter. I can go and take her to school. I can go and take her to campamento right now in summertime. So I never did those things before. And I did that job for 20 years. I quit it when I was 40. Yeah. So in mathematically, the half of my life, I was doing exactly the same thing.
Yes.
So right now I'm kind of enjoying that. I'm not taking more than 2 companies at a time, so I deliver a good job. So far, it's been doing good. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing that because I'm receiving some other opportunities, and I'm like right now redoing myself. But I'm happy that I'm in Punta Cana having that because here the opportunities are there.
Yeah, they are. They're really there. They're everywhere, and you just have to open your eye. And what I love about your story is that you had the foresight to really make a change, and many people get on that treadmill.
Yeah.
They get in that box, they get on that wheel.
Yes.
And it just eats them alive completely.
Yeah. Yes.
It just does the complete job on them.
Yes.
So I think it's really incredible that you had the foresight to really just say, you know what, I'm just gonna disconnect from this and make that clean break. Yes. And you had the support of your family to go and find yourself and then come back and reconnect.
Yeah, that was a deal breaker, having a really, my wife, that she could understand what truly was going on. Because sometimes it's not very easy to say, oh yeah, I let my husband go 3 months in a journey in the other side of the planet.
Yeah.
Not all the women work like that,
No, because some couples, both of them are so wound up, that they just really snap. And I think that's part of the reason that so many relationships don't make it. And I think that Punta Cana, I love Punta Cana, and I think that there's just a real vibe here that helps us to live our best lives and the way we should. So I think it's really great that your wife was supportive of you to go out and come back, and now you're living a better life.
Yes.
Quality life.
Yes, correct.
And the money is coming and the opportunities are coming and you're open to that. So
yeah.
Really
it wasn't easy because my job was the longest relationship I had in my life, I never dated somebody as long as my job.
I know. But I tell you what, like timeshare sales, it's a grind.
Yeah,
It's a real grind. You did it for 20 years. That's really commendable for you too.
Yes, it's a really cool job because you get to learn a lot of sales techniques. You get to know a lot about people, by working in the management. You get to know how customers work, how the owners think, how the salespeople think as well. So it's a very human related job, but also it's a job with a lot of energies.
Yes.
How working with people is working with energies.
Yes.
And sometimes, and I'm sure that happens to you as the leader of a sales team. Sometimes those energies they suck your energy, because you are like a problem solver.
Yes.
That's the money you make is because you solve problems. People go
Exactly.
with you, Cheryl, I have this, and you have to be sharp and say, okay, step one, do this, do this, do this. Oh, thank you so much. Next call is the same. So it's you live because of solving problems. So on the long term, it's also kind of or could be draining, you know. And plus, if you add other things, it's good. I'm very happy. I'm very thankful. It gave me a lot of things. I'm not saying I wouldn't go back. Maybe I would go back. I'm not close to anything, but right now I'm happy.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Having lived in Punta Cana for the last 13 years, what would you say are some of the biggest changes that you've seen throughout those years?
Okay, well, it's getting more to be like a city, you know, because like I'm sure that happened to you as well. At the beginning, when I came here 13 years ago, you knew everybody, you know. It was like everybody. Now you see people that you never seen them before. I've seen the construction going on big time the last 3 4 years, like crazy. I've seen also more little businesses that there's no reason for you to go to Santo Domingo, which that's great for me. You know, every time that I go to Santo Domingo, for me it's like, oh no, if I could stay here, I'd stay here all the time. But there are some businesses coming in maybe Veron area where okay, I have something to check my washing machine. You know, before it was you have to change the washing machine at all.
Yeah.
Now there's people that can fix it. The little extra things that you could do as activities for as a family, I like that. You know, places where you can take your kids. That's something for me important because I have kids. Yeah, that would say would be the biggest thing. And the economical boom that it's going on right now here in Punta Cana.
In your opinion, do you think that's good or do you think that the area is getting saturated? This is a question I get, so I would love your opinion about the direction.
I think that it's good that things grow. I'm not against, oh, you know, Pachamama green, let's not build anything. I mean, you have to build. We're humans, you need to develop. And also the plants, you know, there are some parts here in Bávaro that it would be cool to have another street, so because it's easier. There are other places that are being built, and you can see a difference in the way they are being think. That would be the thing that I don't want that this in some years the traffic is so bad that you cannot even go anywhere. That's my concern. Yeah.
Yeah, so the public planning and those kind of things.
Exactly.
Yeah, I believe that they will catch up, and because we're growing fast.
Yes.
But what I've seen actually over the years that I've been here is that the governments are very active in making the moves that they need to make to maintain the growth. Now, they don't move at light speed because it's public, not private. It's governmental.
Yes.
But I've seen them make moves because to me, I can say that we've been bursting at the seams for 18 years.
Yeah.
Because I always get that question, is it too much? I've had that question since I first got here.
I can imagine.
And so I expect that I will continue to hear that question and have people to say, oh my gosh, is it, is it growing too fast? But we're building new roads and we're putting new stop signs and maybe not at record pace because the infrastructure is there, not there before the growth, but they're making the moves.
Yeah, I am from Cancun, so I get to saw Cancun in the late 80s till the mid 2000s, and it was something kind of similar, you know.
Okay.
Cancun grew up also suddenly, and still that area of Mexico have been growing fast. So I already have seen it. So just hopefully they have like that, always thinking about that sustainability and think that we need Punta Cana for long. You know, it's not something that is for the next 2 years.
No. Punta Cana is on the up and up.
Yeah. It's not. No, it's so beautiful to live. I'm in love of living in Punta Cana. Wow. I wouldn't go anywhere. I mean, that's what I'm thinking right now, but I'm thinking that most likely I'm going to be thinking like that Maybe in the future, when I get older, maybe I go. My wife is from Serbia, so we go to Europe often. So maybe to spend 1 month, 2 months there. But my base is always going to be Punta Cana.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel the same way. I will travel. I will get on a plane. I actually like going to other places just to see, because sometimes people come and they say, well, I'm going to check out Costa Rica, or I'm going to also check out Panama, or I'm going to check out Colombia. So what I do is I go to Panama and I go to Colombia and I go to Costa Rica to see what's going on. Like, hey, what's going on over there?
Yes.
I always come back like, okay.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. That is my word. I'm good.
Yeah. I have that feeling every time that I come on the plane, and I go somewhere very beautiful and have a really cool experience. But at the moment the plane lands and I get on, and there's those cool Dominicans in the plane, in the airport, you feel like, wow, I'm home. That's why I'm here,
exactly.
you know. People is so cool. They're always smiling. They're nice. They're funny. So I don't know. It's just, I feel very identified with the people here.
And that is beautiful, because we didn't grow up here. We weren't born here.
Yeah.
But we feel at home here. So you can feel at home in Punta Cana. You don't have to feel like an outcast or somebody from the outside, or that you look different, or you feel different, or you talk different. No. You can literally come from wherever and literally be at home in Punta Cana.
Yeah. Here people is cool as long as you're respectful and nice.
Oh yeah.
People is like that, you know. It's not. They do not live with some other with the stress that you could be having in the States or in Mexico, you know, because each country have their particular stress.
Yes.
Here is like
no stress.
No stress.
Tranquilo. They're like tranquilo.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
If you want to get rich in real estate, download my PDF.
Talk to me about your future plans then. So we know you're going to be here.
I'm going to be here, yeah.
And what are you going to be doing?
Look, I started like you did. I did a little investment to have my podcast.
Okay.
And the reason why I did it is because I always been like in love. One of the things I always wanted to do is to be more involved with the media, with the communications. Way before YouTube, I'm talking about early 2000s, you know. By how my life went, I started in sales very young, so I never studied anything of that. But right now that I have more time, I decided to have my podcast. It's called Cabezónico, which I interview people from Punta Cana that they have cool stories, you know, stories of achieving something, beating cancer, running a big business from scratch, having an oil company in Venezuela. I have the luck of meeting all these great people because I like stories that inspire, or even that they are a little controversial, you know.
Okay.
So I started with that, and that podcast has helped me getting to know people and connecting with them. I know that this world runs with connections.
Yes.
So I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing the consultations for a very long time. Right now, I'm happy.
But don't quit yet.
No,
Wait
I'm
a minute.
not quitting.
We gotta do some business.
Yeah, of course. No.
I got a sales team to whip in the shake.
Yeah. I would love that. You know, it's what I do with those consultations. I go and I interview each one of the salespeople. I make some questions. I interview the owner. I interview the director, and I tell them my personal analysis. I say, look, I think we can change this, there, and that. And I have this menu of trainings, of courses, which go from emotional intelligence to beliefs of the salesman, till techniques, closing, third-level questions, third-party stories, those little closing techniques, and something more spiritual and more deep, which I have developed after my journey. Wow. So I connected all those emotional, spiritual things without being, I'm not going to put people in meditation, but I'm going to try to connect those with what the energy of a salesman should have.
Great.
And I like it, you know, it's something I believe. And I've seen that people connect with that because it's something that, I kind of think like that, but I didn't have the right wording for what you're saying.
Right.
So
Very
that
interesting.
would be what I will be doing right now. You know.
Excellent. Just to circle back to your podcast, because you told me the name of it,
Yes.
and so my question is it in English or Spanish?
It's in Spanish. I had already two guests in English. I had Jamie Gruber, which you already have. He's a really great guy and very funny. And I had, when I was in India, I met this guy who works in a school. It's called Vedanta Academy. And I invited him, and he had this conference in the school, free for parents, and I invited him to the podcast. He talked about what is the Vedanta, which is the Hinduism philosophy, what's exactly that. So it was a really interesting. So I have those two in English. So most of them have been in Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just for the folks out there to know, because our audience is English speaking, but the name of your podcast is
It's in Spanish, Cabezónico. Cabezónico is like a big head, Sonic, you know. That was my nickname since I was a little kid.
Cabezónico.
Cabezónico. So I put it like that, and it's also connected to my Instagram account, which is Eduardo Díaz .83.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very
Yes.
good. Because that was going to be my next. You keep leading me into the next question.
I'm sorry, Cheryl.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So that's how people can reach you. Are there other ways that people can reach you?
Right there in Instagram or in through the YouTube. But most of the people that have reached me to work with them, they send me a DM through Instagram,
Okay.
and I answer back, and then we exchange phones or WhatsApps, and we start talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of the Punta Cana podcast. It has been so nice to have you here.
Thank you, Cheryl.
To hear your story about your journey and your success in Punta Cana. And thank you for being here. And
Thanks to you.
for all of you out there, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. We have new episodes coming out every single week. Be sure to be in the know, and we'll see you in the next one.